particular Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Gays, and they're gays and lesbians and bisexuals in hip hop. Because not all of them are gay. Some of them do like women, but they get freaky.
That's why I don't be going to no puffy parties. They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. What you talking about? Look, if you into that, I'm fine with it. To each his own. I'm just saying this ain't my motherfucking kind of party.
I'm saying so, 50, I'm coming for your ass, bruh.
Busta Rhymes has also been recognized as a host. And insiders assert that he was involved in more than just event planning. Thus, Diddy is no longer the only person throwing secret parties. Diddy, his alleged trans 20, is shown prominently in the video that 50 Cent recently shared, behaving as though he is the brain behind it all. This is why his recent bombshell on the business included names, faces, and videos. The most absurd thing about Tony Newman isn't even his supposed private conversations regarding Diddy's youthful fanboys. Now, the identities of a previous trans escort have come to light. In addition to accusing Puffy of complicity, Cool J has also mentioned him. Her tale exposes industry cover-ups and underground freaks. And 50 Cent couldn't keep quiet and is now throwing gas in it. Addition to revealing the shadowy underworld that these artists believed would always be hidden, the fire spilled receipts and suggested that he would have featured some of it in his documentary. Did he do it? The video, let's speak about this video. Since the admissions and facts are beginning to make sense and Busta is beginning to appear a bit uneasy in the background. Recently, 50 Cent posted a video purportedly taken during one of that peculiar aura of those now famous events. Those with knowledge of the matter say that this is only the beginning of what 50 has been holding on to. The video shows Busta Rhymes, Diddy, and his purported trans ex at the same event, and there was an odd atmosphere. It was more than just a celebration. All makes sense now since 50 Cent has stated time and time again that he doesn't go to Diddy's party.
They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. Look, if you into that, I'm fine with it. To each his own. I'm just saying this ain't my motherfucking kind of party.
He has been mocking Diddy's business connections and those strange after-party invitations for years, all the while indicating a fruity environment. Now that the leaks are being discovered, guess what? Additionally, Busta Rhymes has not been spared because 50 did not merely troll. Diddy has frequently made fun of Busta Rhymes. From the leather clothing to the muscle thirst traps to the touch, it radiates attitude. At the time, people believed it to be a prank, but now that the video is being released, it appears that 50 was aware of the reality the entire time. Busta was often ridiculed by 50.
But 50 also know I'm not gonna stop. The same way he not gonna stop, I'm not gonna stop. We both come from a family called Violator family, so we ain't got no problem violating.
Many people disregarded Busta's attempt to clap back, assuming it was just harmless fun. People are staring at him sideways as if he meant it when he said he was coming for the 50s. A little Tony Newman. Please.
Just announced about two people who me and my female escort friend, Mistress Carmen, saw as a team. I work with the female, an Asian girl.
Is a transgender escort, author and activist who has long expressed her dislike of the entertainment industry. She claims that some of the most influential individuals in hip-hop have had and continue to have double lives, and that several sources, including former Bad Boy employees, have confirmed that Diddy is allegedly involved in behind-the-scenes affairs with both women and men. Do the math, she said. Since you begin to see similarities, if Diddy is involved and Bust has known him for years.
For Bad Boy, who've now departed, gays who were in Bad Boy, who got told that he likes women, so he would have have to be bisexual. I've heard Sean Combs is in fact bisexual.
Busta Rhymes was among the first to publicly defend Diddy after the footage of him cuddling Cassie went viral, claiming that people were acting rashly.
It's extremely sensitive, and I think that people don't keep in mind the effect of what their opinion can have. And I think it's really, really important that we reserve our opinions until we understand what the undisputed truth is, because an opinion can detrimentally affect someone.
Not only did Toni mention Diddy, but she also claimed to have had a one-night encounter with LL Cool J while working the streets in New York City. She says that LL covered the cost of the evening, understood her gender identification, and continued the conversation without any misunderstanding or embarrassment. When she began speaking in public, LL's team reportedly went into overdrive, threatening to take legal action if she didn't keep his name out of the public eye and sending cease and desist letters to her management.
Another cease and desist letter, second time, Martin Senior, on behalf of LL Cool J, to my whole team again after I did the New York interview.
It gets worse from here. Busta Rhymes and Messier Diddy are accused of using the same tactic. Toni claims that when she began talking about what she had personally witnessed, they both attempted to hush her. Instead of merely hiding secrets, this industry buried them. Remember how Diddy allegedly bribed hotel employees $50,000 to keep the Cassie hotel tape secret when it was made public? If they had attempted to conceal that, just think of what else they might have paid to vanish. According to Toni, one of Biggie Smalls' close buddies was openly gay, but like everything else, his identity was never made public.
I don't think his entourage of Biggie Smalls had a gay guy. Mr. C's evidently a bisexual producer. The Lord knows who else he might have had in that entourage.
When you combine all of this with Nicki Minaj's assertion that there are many clandestine brothers in the industry, it just sounds strange. She wasn't advocating that brothers conceal drug deals. Rather, she was saying that males should conceal their sexual orientation.
Do you think there's a lot of undercover brothers in the industry?
Oh no, Queen! We don't know nothing about undercovers. Oh no!
Rumor had it that Busta Rhymes was both attending and throwing these parties on a regular basis. So let's go back to them. Big homie Double C, who was once close to industry security circles and has seen it all. It's one of the people who publicly acknowledged that Busta brought in a very specific type of persona. It wasn't Instagram models or bottle girls, but young men, according to a number of sources, including insiders close to those circles. He said point blank, there was no holding back. In an odd move, Busta would invite young men to the club's VIP section, not for dancers or alcohol. Asterisk.
That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge, though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some, we gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it over here. They call them, fun boys. They'll say, we gotta have some fun boys in the section.
Though he has admitted to sleeping years ago. Orlando Brown has never lied about the vibe in the room, to be honest. However, throughout the years, he has said a number of odd things, some of which have been messy, some of which have been chaotic, and some of which have been plain ridiculous. I'll slow this down. The assertions that Busta and Diddy have similar fanboys suddenly appear much more plausible. Evidently, these were not your typical guests. They were thoughtfully selected gifts that were presented and given out as party favors.
We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta in the airport too.
Now that even escorts are testifying, recordings are leaking, and industry names are being exposed everywhere, Orlando doesn't sound so crazy. People used to laugh it off, but now he's just going through another phase and wants influence. What many are starting to speculate based on Orlando's statements throughout the years. It's plausible that Diddy invited him and other fanboys, including Busta, to these events on his behalf. He has alluded to a one-night encounter in which he was pimped out and exposed to some dubious business practices. It creates a pretty unnerving image, if that's the truth. And this is where things get very interesting because for someone who is allegedly doing all of this behind closed doors, Busta Rhymes has always been outspoken about suppressing conversations regarding bedroom preferences. You understand what I mean? In 2006, he was accused of shouting a homophobic slur at a male fan in a pub. This was followed by another accusation in 2007, when the host of a radio interview brought up the topic of homophobia in hip-hop. He abruptly left. He just got up and ran away. There was no dispute or disagreement. People were confused by such a kind of mindset back then, and now everything is becoming clear. Looking at those circumstances in a whole different way because, especially when there is a mountain of eyewitness reports and video testimony, someone's strong reaction to a simple question turns it from discomfort to defensiveness.
You know, whatever that man does in his personal space is that man's choice and it's that man's business.
Doesn't stop there because the tapes can already be in use. On the dark web, footage from Diddy's strange parties has allegedly been for sale for some time. According to reports, several of the films featured well-known artists, notable guests, and extremely compromising circumstances. Do you know who? People believe obtained a copy of these tapes. It's the rights to 50 Cent's full-length Diddy Exposed documentary. Diddy Do It have already been acquired by Netflix. According to insiders, the publication is scheduled for immediately following the conclusion of the Diddy trial. Rumor has it that 50 may have obtained some of those cassettes and is retaining them for a more important strategic purpose.
In particular, Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Yes. Another video of one of Diddy's celebrity-filled parties is making the rounds, and it shows the faces of the guests. Take a look. To examine if those films are evidence or even if the documentary explains why some people are suddenly going silent while others are hurrying behind the scenes. Let's discuss a movie that recently went viral. Busta Rhymes, Diddy, and Coi Leray were all in the same room. It appeared to be just another informal industry dinner until Busta gave Diddy that little go-ahead. Big bro shoulder tapu, no? The one. However, observers noticed that Busta was standing behind Coi and that Coi was grinning a bit too much. Body language, awkward timing, and Busta pushing Diddy as if he were passing her off were all signs of discomfort. According to insiders, Busta used to offer such fanboys to Diddy in the club, and fans accused him of trying to pimp Coi out. All of a sudden, allegations began to flow. Unfortunately, there are other clips that are going viral besides the one of Busta's interaction with Jeremy. Despite Busta's attempts at humor, Jeremy appears uneasy. At one point, you can really see Busta leaning in and sniffing him. Awkward attempt to conceal it, but the mood is strange. Other supporters contend that it was just Busta being silly. But after everything else that has happened, it no longer appears so innocent. Diddy's legal drama has been in the courts for weeks, and guess who has said absolutely nothing? That is the current problem. Busta Rhymes hasn't spoken, hasn't posted anything on social media, and hasn't left a statement because he's afraid of being subpoenaed. Those with knowledge of the situation say Busta is attempting to avoid the spotlight at the moment. Are we? Can do now is wait and watch how far this goes. Who else gets named? And, most importantly, how many recordings are left that we haven't seen yet? 50 Cent is continuing to make the trials seem like a comedy. From people showing up in free puffy shirts to the strange AI edits of Diddy, sitting on the witness stand like he's the main character on Law & Order, Hip Hop Unit 50. I hope the court doesn't mention his name. Do you believe that the connection between Diddy and Busta Rhymes is more complex than they make it out to be? Are there any other videos involving these two that the public is still unaware of? Who do you think 50 Cent's documentary will reveal? Next, after you have left your ideas in the space provided below, let's continue the conversation. While you're at it, Click like, subscribe, and watch on the next video that shows up on your screen. I promise it goes much deeper.